bunch of ideas for this one. This was the last one I got. It's just a robot with a gun.
Hold on, let me get it.
So don't zoom in on it because my arms are very hairy and I'm kind of self-conscious about it.
When I say I'm drunk again, she starts to fight. Where the hell have you been? I start to scream, she's getting me. Oh, what the scene, no, these songs ain't no hollow. I lost control, I didn't know. But she explode, can't control this feeling. Says she wrong, I wanna know. I must be strong, but my love isn't over. It's just a Friday night. It ain't no black and white. It's just the way they said I love you. It's Friday night, lights out.
Alright.
So, I was gonna get a Chewbacca and then just shave around it. I like robots and stuff. The other band I'm in is called Invasion Earth, and we're like sci-fi punk rock band, so we're into all that kind of stuff. But I didn't draw this, but I told the guy what I wanted to do.
It ain't no black and white. It's just the way.
My pendulum swings, and it's kind of like the moment that I reach a complete lack of production, or this where I realize I'm not doing anything, and I have this little panic attack. I'm like, oh, I need to do something right now, and then it swings right into like that's when I get the most creative.
For me, creativity is I can't not do it.
I do read a lot, which is also helpful for being imaginative, which can lead to being creative.
Honestly, like 6 beers probably. You know, working till 5 a.m., that's when all the good stuff comes around.
Things I had maybe seen on the way home, like a great sunset or something like that.
Travel. Just being out, walking around locally, conversation. I love magazines, so I tear through tons of magazines.
Hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. That's inspiring to me. People that bust their ass. And I mean, I know a lot of people do bust their ass, and they just don't look like it because somehow they've been able to like figure out how to look a certain way. But that doesn't inspire me. That's magazine. That's plastic to me. You know.
I mean, a lot of it just comes from obscure things that you just think up and then just start drawing it. It kind of all comes together from there.
I can't sit down and write a song. I mean, if I try to do that, I rarely can do it. I mean, once in a while. I don't know. You?
All right. The band I was in prior to this, that I was in for like 9 years, my writing process was in my girlfriend's apartment. My girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, it was in her kitchen in her apartment, through her guitar and little amp she had laying around. Her RG, she had that little crate amp, and then black RG. I wrote most of the songs, and we made 4 studio albums and a live record, and most of those songs are written in her kitchen. I think the inspiration was love. I don't think so. I know. I can't say that, but you know, it was just stuff came to me there. You know.
Yeah.
It's a good spot. I'm random. Yeah. Sometimes I'll just think of something. Like I said, I'm more bits and pieces, and then it's hard for me personally to sit down and write an entire song because I'm probably too critical of myself, I would guess. I'm like, oh, this is stupid. And I think it works better for me just to bring something in there. And if everybody likes it, then we'll just turns it into something.
So do we call this writing songs, or what?
Yeah.
Is that what you call this? You know what I mean?
We don't write them down.
We don't write notation or anything. He just makes stuff up on
But
the
we
guitar.
call it writing
Yeah.
a song.
I guess you call it
We
writing.
call it writing a song, but it's way more inventing.
You know what I mean? I mean, yeah. Is that what you really call
Our
it?
drummer in a different band that I play in also writes a lot of the music for that band, and he's kind of crazy, but he says that it's all already there, and you just have to pull out the parts that don't belong.
I don't even try to like constrain it at all. Like if I have a thought, I just kind of let it go and like do it. Be like, you know, I feel like standing underneath this table right now, I'll just do it. And then you get out from underneath the table and you're like, that was good. Yeah. And then it's done.
I don't know. I think a lot of it in this day and age comes from kind of web references, you know, like everybody's so big into YouTube and stuff like that. And, but moreover, it's just kind of, I think for a lot of people, kind of what they grow up with. For me, a lot of my stuff comes from really bad 80s movies, like stuff that nobody's seen. So like, you know, if I asked anybody if they've seen Solar Babies, they'd be like, what are you talking about?
There's a documentary about Michel Gondry, the filmmaker. You know, he does movies like Silence of Sleep and stuff like that. And he has a documentary called I've Been 12 Forever. And it's basically about his life and creativity and how important it is that no matter what he's doing, whether he's driving a car, going for a walk, reading a book, he's always got this sort of creative mindset going. Like, how can this situation change? How can I take this and mix it with something else? I mean, it's kind of like a DJ, you know? Like, creativity is taking what you know here and what you learn there and mixing it up and creating something new out of it. And I actually kind of can't stop doing it. You know, I talk a lot, you know, and I just sort of go and go and go, and I follow threads and tangents.
I design everything for Kavira, Skates and Skulls, some Shameless shirts, Beaver Mullet, and that's everything. And then we have a couple guys who work here who do their own stuff, like Royal Court Clothing, and Kyle here has Kyle Motor Guts. And then we've got a partnership between myself and another guy where we do phonic.
I do sketch and charcoal and things like that on paper. I can get kind of engrossed in that. I spent probably the last 10 years or more, or you could say since I was a little girl, making clothes. But because I used to dress my dolls, and I used to punk out my Barbies and like put things on them, and then I would dress myself in clothes that the other kids didn't accept me for, but I wanted to wear.
I think the freedom to express yourself however you want is extremely important. And anytime somebody says, hey, I want you to like draw on this envelope, and you decide that you want to cut the envelope up and unfold it and draw on the inside, and they say no, I think that's bad, actually. I mean, constraints are necessary to a certain degree, but the important thing is that your mind is going to go to amazing places if you let it. The important thing is with creativity is to let it go there.
It's hard for me to imagine. Reality is so vast, and the human capacity is so vast. It's very hard for me to decide where originality falls, because we're all capable of a lot of the same things, but it's all about the moment that you discover it for yourself.
I'm not going to say original, I'm going to say unique to us.
Yeah.
You know, nothing in rock and roll, nothing's really original anymore. Well,
Everything's been done, but we just put it together in a different combination.
Yeah.
There's only 12 notes, really. So you just gotta pick a way to put them together where it's your own and put original lyrics on it. So.
And I think a singer, which neither of us, well, he does background, I think a singer puts an original stamp on a band, because everyone's voice is definitely unique to them.
So a lot of times Brad will write a song and it'll be pretty much complete.
Yep.
He'll bring it in musically.
Yep.
And maybe we'll throw in a few other little things things. And
Or this chord sucks there. We could
yeah, how about
put this one instead, and
we get rid of this whole part.
it's
But other
just kind
times,
of,
yeah.
everybody helps the creative process.
It's definitely a group thing. Otherwise, a lot of times I'll just have one idea, like a riff, and Brad's really good at taking that, maybe putting it with something he already had or something else that I had that I didn't know what to do with. The phone's ringing.
Some would call that
Cut!
Originality is, I think it's a little overrated. I mean, obviously you're looking for something you've never seen before. Some people copy, and some people copy and change. In fact, I would say many artists are all in the business of copying, stealing from each other. It's influence, basically. And that originality is perspective. So originality is a process of your influences and your creativity and your very own perspective on the situation, that nobody can be in your position. And so, you know, my envelope is going to look like mine because it's me. And I just don't get bogged down with trying to be original, because I find the harder you be like, oh, I need to do something new, the more elusive it becomes, and I don't know. It's very internal. To compare your originality to somebody else's is to not focus on your own work. And so I just say, you know what, I'm gonna make this because I like it, and if it comes out and no one's ever seen it before, then go me. But if it comes out and someone says, that's okay, I'll say, go me.
Sometimes I'm inclined to think that that none of it is original in the grand scheme. All of it is original on a personal, subjective level. The first time you create something, the first time you think of something, the first time you learn something are very original on the subjective level.
Well, everybody has a different perspective. I would look at that tree one way and you might look at it a different way. Or even the song that we hear in the background. It would influence me in a certain way, and it might influence you in a different way, because we all have different perspectives on things. We can all see the same happening and see it differently.
I don't want to be like anyone else, but like that's impossible. I think what I've been finding, I'm 34, so the older I get, the more I realize there's always going to be somebody out there that you have these things in common with, that you can relate to, and oh my God, they're just like you, and you're not the only one with that shirt or those boots or that, you know, that style. But I mean, originality definitely comes from I think it has to start on the inside. So it has to start on the inside and then work its way out. And originality is hard for some people to find.
Genesis.